Workplace drama, friends, spreads like wildfire unless you kill it in 3 seconds. And in the Leadership Sandbox today, I'm going to show you how to do just that, because no one has time for drama spinning out of control like a wildfire in the workplace. I'm Tammy J. I'm your host of the Leadership Sandbox and excited to have you join me today, because we're going to dive into a topic real quick and in a hurry that's going to dig deep on some things that you might have held kind of close to you as a leader or manager of people. But I'm going to talk to you about why leaders let drama fester and why it's a huge #leadership fail. So let's get into it. Hey, leader, if you're navigating tough conversations and it feels like a struggle, I want you to know I've got you covered. I've got your back. I've created a communication starter pack designed to give leaders and managers the tools that they need to communicate with confidence, clarity, and real impact. So I want you to head on over to bondgroupenterprises.com and grab your starter pack today. It's time to lead conversations that matter and get the results you deserve. The number one reason why drama is allowed in the workplace is because of passive leadership. Passive leadership lets drama thrive. They think that if I ignore it, it'll disappear. And the reality is ignoring it does not make it disappear. Let me give you an example. I had an opportunity to work within an environment in a team where there was a specific performer who'd been with the company for many years. And this individual was kind of seen as the royalty of the organization because of the tenure that they had. They were kind of the darling of the organization, held in high regard because of the perception of loyalty that this individual had, because they'd given so much of their time to this organization. But what they ended up fueling in the workplace was a lot of drama. They refused to resolve any conflict. They spun up stories about other people. They took and stole other people's work ideas and made it their own and didn't give proper credit where credit was due. They didn't address, as they rose up in leadership, they had their favorites that they held very near and dear, and they kept their circle small around them. And why did that impact the workplace, or how did that impact the workplace? Well, they were very passive in their leadership style. They defaulted to others around them for any time a decision needed to be made. This one individual, she couldn't make decision for anything. She would list all the people, she'd talk to all the people around her and then get them talking about whatever decision they wanted. And somehow that would get normalized and it would become so. But the drama that this individual continually spun up around her was unhealthy, and it actually caused some really great people in the organization to leave. But it also created a complacency for others because they didn't see why they needed to be a top performer or working at, even setting goals. I'll never forget, this was the part that blew my mind. You'd set goals for a team of what they were to achieve, whether it was a sales goal or whether it was a performance outputs goal. And this individual would, in the room, yes, that's a great goal, let's do that, but then spin up drama behind the scenes about not achieving the goal, meaning like it was an unrealistic goal, or I can't believe we have that goal, and never took ownership that they actually, as the leader of the team, were the one responsible for saying, yes, we'll go ahead and have these series of goals for this quarter. What they did was spin it up with everybody around them that wasn't at the decision-making table about why that wasn't going to work. Here's the problem. Here's why it became a problem. Because the people in the room weren't actually, or the people not in the room that had to accomplish said goal that was set in place, they then weren't bought in. They then didn't want to. And guess what that did for the drama spinner on the other side, where she was? I'll never forget this. She would just sit back and watch everybody else spin out in their trauma. And why was that significant? Because she didn't have to actually act on anything to get the performance out of the team, because she could blame it on their temper tantrums or on their storytelling or on the fact that they were unhappy with these unreasonable goals. It was a really interesting dynamic, but because this person was the darling of the company, this really negative drama behavior pattern was just allowed. The drama didn't disappear. Leadership above her didn't make it go away because they just assumed that this individual was doing their job. And in fact, they were sabotaging with the drama that they were festering and fostering. Here's the other thing to know about drama is it drains time, energy, and credibility. It really does. What's interesting when you have an individual, this darling that I was speaking to in this organization, it was never something when goals weren't achieved or accomplished, that person never took responsibility for it. They knew how to spin up the drama so that it deflected off of her and her lack of leading, her lack of healthy and proper management, and it went on to other people. Right? The drama of that just drained time for everybody that was trying to manage the circumstances around it. It is your problem if there is drama as the leader. And if you don't perceive it as a big deal, it's going to fester, right? The draining of energy and time, efficiency, credibility, it's a problem. And if it's in your mind not a big deal, that actually makes it even a bigger problem, that drama aspect of it. But there's a common mistake with drama that leaders make. And here's the biggest common mistake: engaging with the drama, playing favorites, and dismissing it. Those are the three big issues that get in our way. Just like that darling in that company that I was telling you about, that no one held accountable or responsible for their behaviors because they were really good at spinning it up to distract. Drama is a distraction. It's like walking through the drama is kind of like the Tasmanian devil. You remember that cartoon character, and he'd spin in circles and the dust around him would kick up. And it's similar to my Dorothy the Destroyer character in the Sandbox. She is a drama queen through and through. And to your face might be lovely and be a darling and be so kind, but behind your back, she's got the knife and she's stabbing you with it in the back. And she's telling stories about how you actually did it for yourself because somehow you were like some Houdini and had these, this amazing flexibility to get out of situations or, to stab your own self in the back. That Dorothy the Destroyer personality is the one that stirs up a lot of drama, gives the perception that maybe they are performing, but they're engaging in the drama to get the right people. It's amazing, these drama people. They know how to get the right people around them in the workplace to promote or further their agenda. It's unreal to me, but they do. And I think it's because they're perceived as this one individual that comes to mind at this company, this darling I was speaking to. She was really good at getting other people, the right people. She knew the people to get on her side, to get aligned to her. And oftentimes they were, even some of which on the top performing end of the scale of things, but they did just enough to kind of coast under the radar. And she knew how to get them involved and get them on her team, get them to think the way that she did, to distract from what she wasn't doing. It was masterful at manipulation. But here's what I want to tell you about drama. Then I'm going to jump into my 3-second rule for ending it. Drama is something that is pervasive, and it will spin out of control and take control of your team for you. And it will take people off track of achieving the goals when we're only focused on the drama. And when we're focused on just kind of watching how it spins out, and it's pervasive and it gets in and it infiltrates the team, it infiltrates trust, credibility. Here's the other thing though. When I go into teams and I see that you've got 1 or 2 people that are spinning up the drama, I often wonder why the CEO or the president or the VP, whoever those people report to, and sometimes they are those people, but everybody has a boss. And I don't understand why leaders around them or peers don't ask for it to stop and call them on that behavior. It's really interesting. I have some thoughts and theories. I'll play it another time with you in the sandbox on that. But I think that the biggest thing we can know is if we're using our time and our energy and it's impacting our credibility because we have these drama kings and queens on our team. Why is that? How are you being served as the leader of the team, as the leader of the company, as the leader of a project team? It could be. How are you being served by having that person that spins up the drama on the team, as opposed to telling them thanks but no thanks and setting the boundaries or the guidelines or the ground rules of what behaviors are acceptable and what behaviors are not acceptable? Somehow that drama is serving you. And when you answer that question for yourself, you're going to go, okay. Because when leaders let drama fester, it's a failure. epic proportions on the leadership level. And when you're passive about it, there's a reason why. And when you ignore that it's draining time and energy, or you're having to spend a lot more time and energy to course correct because of the one drama individual, that's not only your problem, and it's creating a big problem for the team, but it's the mistake of then when you engage with it or laugh about it. And this one person that I'm so vividly can see their face, and I know their name, and they shall remain nameless, that really was the darling of the company that spun up so much drama. And I remember having a conversation with the CEO about it. And they just kind of laughed because they felt helpless, actually, to address the drama and address the bad behaviors in the individual, because the people above them that they reported to on the board really liked this person. When you as a leader are not able to have an honest conversation about the behavior patterns on the team that are not serving the team or the community, or the serving the goals of the organization, you can't have that. Then you got to ask yourself, am I in the right position? And is that how I want to be seen? Do I want, because you will then have people around you that won't be telling you the truth for the same reasons that you're not being a truth teller, to shut down the drama behavior, no matter who you report to. You got to be truthful with yourself, get real, and have those conversations, because it impacts the greater good of the whole. So there's that. That's my drama story. Let's talk about the 3-second rule for ending drama on the spot. How do you do it? It's actually really easy. That's why it kind of surprises me when I see really great leaders giving into the drama individuals on the team. And I get to the what's causing you to do that? What's underlying belief of that? There's something there. Let's uproot that so we can get to the point of it. But the 3-second rule is this: 3 seconds to intervene, right? It's your intervention method right here. Step 1, cut it off. When you hear gossip, we're not going to entertain it. We're going to say, I don't entertain gossip. Gossip is not a core value of mine. So we're stopping it here, right? We're going to just end it immediately. Don't even entertain it. Step 2, redirect it. If there's a real issue, let's talk about that. And I'm going to, if there's an issue and someone brings a gossip story to me, I'm like, cool, let's bring in Sally Joe into this conversation. Let's bring Frank into this conversation, and let's have that dialogue around the gossip that I'm hearing, right? The drama that I'm hearing, the issue that's coming up. Let's get all players together, because when we compartmentalize people, we're going to hear all different versions. And then it's my job when I do that, then I got to decipher what I heard. And maybe I'll do that initially. And then I'm going to be I'm most commonly, especially when it's any kind of drama gossip stuff, I bring all players together. When I hear somebody say this is one of my favorite, I heard that Frank said this, and I heard that Joe did that. And I hear that, that Jolinda did this. It's like, okay, well, why am I playing 3 parts to this party, and as a 4th player here? Let's bring Joe and Frank and Jolinda together and have a conversation. Why am I doing that? Because I want, then the 3 of them are all going to share what they heard or what they believe. And I'm going to get to the core of it. And most likely 1, 2, or 3 of them aren't going to have the same story when you bring all 3 of them together as they do individually, because it doesn't serve them to do that, because they're going to get caught. So I'm going to cut it off, and then I'm going to redirect it and say what I do want. I'm going to bring all the players together to have a conversation. And then in that moment, we do the very next step, which is so important. Step 3 is to set the standard, or set the expectation. Here's what we don't want in the workplace, and here's what we do want in the workplace. When it comes to these conversations, when it comes to these issues, these are the kinds of workplace conversations that we have here. And I'm going to get everybody to agree to that. And then I'm going to give them a next time. I'd probably add in a step 4. So the next time you all want to be engaging in this drama, or the next time you want to be engaging in this gossip, here's what we're going to do about it. You're going to stop it. You're going to cut it off, and you're going to redirect it. That's not like us. We don't engage at that level. Let's get to solution. Let's get to creating something to move us forward. Why does this work? Because it stops triangulation in its tracks. It shuts down those gossip loops, and it sets the tone and expectation for what you want. Gossip is nothing than spun out people that are trying to make a name for themselves when they can't step in and step up and have the work speak for itself. When you've got that much time on your hand, friends, or you're with people that have that much time on their hands to spin out and gossip, then they don't have the right job to do. They don't have enough responsibility. They don't have enough opportunity to step in and actually make a difference in the workplace. So give them that, but shut it down immediately. Immediately. Here's the third part of this conversation. I want you to make this a leadership habit, friends. I want you to actually have a no more drama workplace. We are a drama-free workplace. Start hanging those signs. Forget vision and values that you're hanging around the room. How about you hang around the room, no more drama? We are a drama-free zone, right? Like a no-fly zone, we're a drama-free zone. Why is that? Because when we set that standard, people are going to step up or step off. And I am okay if people cannot handle a drama-free zone, right? Or a gossip-free zone. They can't handle that. Fine, step off. But if I'm allowing it, then it's maybe me that needs to take a hard, cold look in the mirror. And is it for me to step off? But let's talk about how we make this habit a reality, this leadership habit of no more drama. Right? We're going to be setting the standard that there's no venting without solutions. I'm okay if people need to come in and do a 1-1-1 as long as we know that it's for a moment and a time. And then what are we going to do about it from there? I'm fine with that. Let's do that. Right? We're going to turn complaints into direct conversations with each other. Right? No more drama. We're going to turn that complaint, that drama gossip. I'm going to talk about what, Sam did. I'm going to talk about what Joe did. All of that. Right? Nope. Not without going to them directly, one-on-one. Hey, Joe, here's my issue that I'm having with you, and I want to talk about it directly with you. And if we can't get a resolution, then maybe we can go over to Mike and have a conversation because he's our leader. What if we do that? I'm not just here to vent. I'm here to bring solutions too. It's okay to have a 1-1-1 for a set time. I've done that with people. And if you've been in any of my leadership training, you've heard me say 1-1-1s are great, but I'm going to give them their time certain, meaning I'm coming in. Hey, I just need 3 minutes. I need to vent for a minute. And it's going to sound a little bit like a 1-1-1, permission to do so. Yes, you've got 3 minutes, go. Whoever I'm venting to, they're timing me, or I'll set my own timer. And I better be done by the end of 3 minutes. And then the next question is, great. What else do you need to say to be complete? Bottom line it. Okay. Now what are we going to do? Are we here to look at solutions, or are you complete and we can just move on? I'm complete. I can move on. Or no, I'd actually like to look at solutions. That's that great two-way dialogue. And hopefully you have somebody in your team that you can do that with. And I want you to lead by example. If you gossip or you complain, your team will too. So lead by example. If you have a bunch of gossip spinning out on your team, if you have a bunch of drama playing out on your team, then I guess you better take a look in the mirror. Remember, if you want one of these little handy mirrors, all you have to do is DM me and I will send one to you. So you can look at your mirror and you can say, am I listening in on the gossip? Am I participating in the gossip? What's my contribution here? Lead by example. Because if you gossip or complain, your team will too. You're setting the standard, you're modeling the way. So do the opposite of what's happening. If you've got drama and gossip, you better be modeling the opposite. And here is my final mic drop, which is kind of my fun one that I've been waiting. The fastest way to kill drama, refuse it. Right? Refuse to be its audience. The fastest way to kill drama in any space is to refuse to be its audience. When I am around people that want to gossip without coming to me with a plan, as I said, a 1-1-1 or a question around, hey, I'm curious, because I just did this with someone the other day. I said, hey, we were at this event and I noticed something and I'm wondering if I could just share a conversation because you've been around these events longer than me. And this individual, she's like, yeah, what? Here's what I noticed. Is that normal? Is that how we show up together? I'm not gossiping. It's just a behavior that I noticed. We had a wonderful dialogue about it. It's okay to do that, to seek and be curious. And then guess what? It ends there. I then don't go talk to 4 more people and go, well, I spoke with and they said, and so now no, I don't entertain it, but I also don't want people to entertain gossip from me too. So people in my life know if I go that route, they're just like, hey, are we being our highest best self by entertaining gossip right now? No, actually we're not. Thank you. Because I hold people in the highest possible regard. I want others to hold me in the highest possible regard. So the fastest way to kill drama is to refuse to be its audience, period. That's it. So as a little bit of a recap here, here's what I want to go back over. I want you to know that when you as a leader let drama fester and you don't actually address it or address the people and the behavior, that's a leadership failure and that's on you. So if you're having behaviors in the workplace like drama and gossip that are happening and you haven't addressed it and you've ignored it because, maybe it is that top performer, or maybe it is that special person that's, the golden child, the crown jewel of the company because of their commitment to the company, and you're allowing it, you're actually causing the problem. And you're not holding people responsible for their own actions to change and correct that behavior. You've got the 3-second rule. Cut it off, redirect it, set the standard, model the way of it, right? That's it. That's what stops triangulation. Have the conversation with the people. And then if you're going to allow a 911 or a venting session, I'm fine with that. Put a time limit on it, and then make sure that there's a solution focus, and make sure that you ask this powerful question at the end to say, what do you need to say to be complete? And then the expectation is they don't go share it outside of your office, because that's what perpetuates the drama and the gossip, right? Lead by example, friends. That's how that making this a leadership habit, that we are a drama-free zone. We lead by example. And my final mic drop for you is to remember that the fastest way to kill drama anywhere is to refuse to be its audience. I mean, who are you not to? Here's what I want you to do right now, friends. I want you to actually take this episode and I want you to share it. And I want you to tag a leader that you think needs to hear it, because maybe you have one of those crowning jewels in your company that seems to get away with a lot and spin a lot of drama and not have responsibility to be accountable for any of the goals that have been set for the rest of you. Maybe that's in your company. I want you to send this to your leader that might want to hear about how to address this, because they might need that simple 3-step process on how to end that gossip and drama. I was going to say drossip. That's kind of it, right? Drama and gossip. We'll just make a new word, because that's what Tammy likes to do. It's drossip right now. It's time to set the standard, raise the standard. And I would offer that you share this with somebody that could get a hold of why we want to get rid of the drama in the workplace and get rid of drama and gossip and shut it down before it explodes. It's a simple process. And who are you not to step in and do that? If you're struggling with this in your workplace and you're not sure, and maybe these tips didn't all land with you, or you've tried them and it doesn't seem to be working, or you have that darling in the workplace that nobody wants to address, hit me up with a DM and let's talk about it. And maybe I can give you some questions and some tools, some ways to help correct those very behaviors that could be exploding in the workplace and causing unnecessary derailment with the team. I'm here for it. I'm here for it all day long in the Leadership Sandbox. It's what I love to do. Hey, friends, thanks for joining me in the Sandbox today. My hope for you is that you continue to grow, because I know that leadership is not something that you're born with. It's something that you grow into. And you took time today to grow into your next level of leadership in the Sandbox. And I'm believing that you are going to put the stake in the ground for a no gossip, right? And a drama-free zone. And you're going to model the way and set the expectation of what that looks like in your Leadership Sandbox. Make it a great day, and God bless you.